Okay, I'm gonna. This is a trade that one of our students took. I believe this was. I can't even remember now. I've got to go back and look. I believe this is Juan, but he's going to take a second entry long here, and he doesn't talk about the trade, so I will go ahead and try to narrate this trade myself. But you can see we started here. You're working down. You got a first entry when it broke higher here. Now you're about to possibly make a lower high, and he's ready to drop his order here above the signal bar if this works out. And you can see it's very close to finishing, and it's gonna looks like it's gonna finish bullish. Of course, it could change here before it closes, but it looks like he's pretty close to closing out, and it's this trade's gonna work out. So there it is. His order's there. Now prices tick higher. That's a second entry long, and he's got his order. There you go, and his order's triggered. He's moving his stop down here one tick below the signal bar, just like we teach it. And he's in the trade now, so we'll watch it and we'll see what happens here. But again, you're just trading a second entry long here. He's adding that to his chart. You can see that there. And he is trading this second entry long off the midline. This is a range day. And you can see we bounced off the midline the last time, but there's a trend working up here too, and you can see that trend line coming into play. I believe that's just as important as the midline. So, because sometimes trading in the middle of a range, and there he is. He's scalped out, so he's got his scalp now. He hasn't moved to break even yet. He's just showing you his range there. And he's trading this a little different. Most people would have moved there. I probably would have moved my stop to break even or break even +1. But he's trying to get him a runner here, and I don't, sometimes that's you got to be a little more aggressive to get a bigger runner. So I believe what he does is waits to this bar, and then he drops his limit order up there. He's locking in his profit now, and he gets stopped out there. So it still looks like he got. I'm not sure how many points he got off his runners there, but that was a great second entry long off a key entry point. A couple of them merging together. You got support from the midline. You got support from the key entry point or the trend line here as well. And so, and we did bounce there a few times prior as well. So, so nice trade.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Today you can see I had another slow start, but my patience paid off. When I came in, I was looking at this range here in the overnight session. And once we started getting a good channel working up, I measured the range, drug it up. Eventually you can see we got our closeout side and new high, which hit that move perfectly. We also had this channel, or trend line working up, closeout side, and two measured legs up. So I liked that high. I was looking for shorts, but I didn't get a setup I liked. So you can see we worked down, bounced at that previous resistance, which is now support. Had our two legs up, and it looks like we're coming off the highs, looking to test either that midline or the lows. So I started keeping an eye on this second entry short here. I really like the key entry point that it's at. You can see earlier, once we hit these highs for the first time, we did get a trend channel working down, but my lower high just ended up being too congested right into the overnight highs, the open, and the moving average. So I waited on the reversal pattern, which again I didn't really like. I had 3 or 4 bars stacked up. One of them had pretty much no body, so I stayed out of it. In hindsight, it would have worked, but I wouldn't have felt good about taking that trade, so I waited. Here you can also see I just drew in that short-term trend line. We were working up, had a close outside. We've now put in a new high, so I'm comfortable taking a short in this area. Everything's been moving pretty slow lately. I know we've had some days where the volume picked up a little bit, but due to that slowness, some of these second entries take quite a while to form.
Order submitted.
Here you can see once we hit that key entry point at the top, we started to get some selling pressure. So I put my sell stop 1 tick below that green bar just in case we got an engulfing signal bar. That orange line that I just drew and then drug down was my measured move. So that was my target if I did get into this trade. I end up removing it just because it's kind of in the way, a lot going on, but I put it back later once I get into the trade. One of the parts about this trade that did have me a little hesitant was all of the support, the moving average and the pre-market highs mainly. However, we did get a pretty good push down from the highs previously, and we never retested the lows, or I guess that midline, which has me thinking we're going to get another push down, another leg down. So that was a risk I was willing to take. On these range days, you often have to enter into the moving average, and it's a little uncomfortable, but sometimes it has to be done. Here you can see my sell stop is 1 tick below the signal bar. So once prices break below it,
order filled.
I'll be in on that second entry short, looking for prices to retest the lows. As I said, I will put that measured move back there, so you can see why I have my second target where it is. Prices do take a little bit here. It's just exercising that patience. Seems to be the theme of the market lately, so I can't be all that surprised anymore.
Target filled.
All right, there we go. So prices hit my first profit target. I'm out of one contract, holding onto my runner still. And at this point, I chose to speed the video up so you didn't have to sit through probably 10 minutes of me managing this runner. This is actually 500% speed, so 5 times what the speed actually was. So that just gives you an idea of how long I was in this position. I was patient. I gave it some room to breathe, but once we broke below this candle here, this previous green candle here, once we broke below it, I decided to just drag my stop down. Down to that 1 point, area. I didn't want to, again, risk my runner. So once we get that push below, I dragged my stop down, protected some of my profits, and it actually proved to work out really well. I don't think the video shows it, but my runner gets stopped out here, then prices immediately would have went through my break-even stop.
Stop filled.
All right, that's the trade.